What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Just Like Smith channel. In today's video, we're gonna be tearing apart my buddy Surron, and we're gonna be powder coating it a different color. We powder coated it yellow, and he's bored of the yellow. It's time to change it up. So we're gonna do a bunch of upgraded parts and change the powder coat color. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing tore apart and re-powder coated, so then by the time he's back moving, then we can test ride it. What color are we gonna do, Charles?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
No.
We're literally about to tear it apart though.
Yeah, but I'll have time to decide.
Whenever we powder coated this thing yellow the first time, I meant to do a video on it, but I didn't. I filmed like half of it and then I lost the files on my computer, so we never got to do this. So we're gonna do a proper rebuild video on this thing. So let's go ahead and start this time lapse and get this thing tore apart. Let's go. We got our tore apart. So if any of y'all are wondering where the thumbnail came from, here it is. So honestly, tearing down a Surron 744, I don't know what time it was whenever we started the time lapse. This was by myself, and of course it's not completely tore down. Like, you don't have to take the front wheel off if you don't want to. So it's all still assembled on the triple clamp, whatever you want to call it. Like some of the stuff can like stay together, if that makes any sense. Like the whole jack shaft can stay together because we're not switching over chain conversion. The linkage can stay together, even though we're going to be taking that apart because we have a bronze linkage instead of a black. The spring and the shock can stay together this time because he's doing a completely different rear shock. Just little stuff like that. The brakes, as long as you put the rear brake with the line and everything in first after you get your frame powder coated, you don't even have to break the brake lines loose. Same thing goes for the front, so no bleeding your brakes required. As usual, we're going to be taking everything to a huge sponsor here on the channel, so huge shout out to Single Shot Powder Coating. They are out of Science Hill, Kentucky. They take care of all of the sandblasting and powder coating of pretty much anything here on the YouTube channel over the last 4 years. Right now, on the spot pick.
It's either gonna be pearl white or pink. I haven't made up my mind.
All right, guys, but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and skip to picking this thing up from Single Shot Powder Coating. I'm about to transition to a couple days from now, or whenever that is, that it's finished and we are there picking it up. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this little edit of the new color. I'm so excited to put this thing back together, even though it's not even powder coated yet. Let's skip to this little edit, and then we'll talk to y'all whenever we get everything back and laying in the floor, the new color. All right, and we're back. So it's a couple weeks later. We just now picked up the Surron. I know I literally had just told you guys, or well, Charles told you guys that he was either gonna do white or, I don't remember what was the other color, but he ended up doing something completely different, and here it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll a little bitty edit of this color. After this edit, then we're gonna go ahead and start putting it back together. So enjoy this little edit, and then we're gonna put this thing back together and see how she looks. Okay, so just a quick light little edit, nothing crazy, but this color is from Prismatic Powders. It is a powder coat, so huge shout out to Single Shot Powder Coating for absolutely killing it. It's called Misty Root Beer. So if you enjoy this color and you want to make your Surron or something else this color, I figured I would go ahead and throw that out there. This is called Misty Root Beer. So before you guys freak out, I haven't started reassembling it yet. We've got all the Ziploc bags laying out. I don't know if y'all could tell in the time lapse, but in the time lapse we pretty much just organize everything. Like speed controller is that whole big harness over there. The whole front wheel doesn't really come apart. The rear stays together, sprocket and rotor, whatever. So we have pretty much like a speed controller bag, a wire management bag, and everything's labeled. So we've got swing arms. So here's 2 of the swing arm bearings were reusable. That we saved them, didn't damage them. They're still super smooth, and these are upgraded anyway. Then we've got more Timken bearings. I'll try to remember to link the Timken bearings that I use in the jack shafts and in the swing arms below, because I've so far had good luck out of mine on 72 volt. Anyway, got the engine bag with the engine bolts. We've got subframe bolts, and then this one is like the speed controller bag, kind of. It's got a like little dust shield and whatnot. We've got the chain. And then we've got another speed controller bag. This is for everything that it takes to install a speed controller pretty much. This one right here, wire management. So you've got all of like your little bolts and whatnot that have the little tabs on them to hold the wires. Then he actually picked up the Guts seat cover off of my bike. And now my bike, huge shout out to the sponsor on the channel, Guts. Guts factory gripper seats. They are absolutely sweet. Black sides, black top. Logos on the sides and the top. It looks absolutely killer on the bike. I love that the purple ribs actually match. I was hoping that they matched, and it really does. So they match the purple Warp 9 wheels, purple Warp 9 triangle, Warp 9 direct mount, etc. Be enough talking, guys. We're gonna go ahead and roll a little edit time lapse putting this thing back together. It's not gonna be super crazy in detail, but don't forget to comment below any question or concerns during this video. Any questions that you have, please watch the video fully, and anything that I don't answer in videos, always feel free to comment down below, and I'll help all I can. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and throw this thing back together. Let's go.
Hours later.
All right, guys, so we are out here downtown. The bike is finished now. It's finally back together, and we're gonna go over everything that's done from start to finish on this bike. So we're gonna start back here in the rear. We do have the Prickly 220 with the Prickly spacer. We've got the Warp 9 54 tooth sprocket with a tusk chain from Rocky Mountain. We're running all Warp 9 linkage and suspension part with the bolt kit that you can pick up on my website, justknoxsmith.com. We've got the Guts seat cover. Huge shout out, Guts' sponsor on the YouTube channel. Guts complete seat on this bike. We've got the Fast Ace rear shock with the 600-pound spring. Great shock. You can use code HAWK10 to save 10% off of your order on there. We've got the IMS foot pegs. These are for a CRF 110, but they bolt right up. We're running 2 peg braces because he still has the factory peg mounts, and we smoothed and deleted the kickstand off of the factory peg mounts. We've just got the stock engine cover, running a Gates GT4 belt. We've got a aftermarket eBay skid plate. We had Cerakoted black. Still has the stock battery and stock speed controller with the 54 tooth sprocket and the Shinkos ripping urban around town. This is plenty of power. We're running the gold Fast Ace forks. We picked these up from Electrics e-bikes. I'll have them linked in the description box down below. Code HAWK5 for 5% off anything on their website. We also have the Prickly 220 rotors up front, stock wheels front and rear with the Shinko 2.75 by 19s. We've got the ODI front number plate with the Rigid Industries small little pod light that we use the factory headlight bracket and mounted up super clean. And this thing is insanely bright and it looks killer. We've got the ODI red grip donuts to match with the red on the guts and the red on the Renthal bar pad. We're running the Renthal Ultra Tacky grips. We've got Slate Evos, just the master cylinders. We're running factory calipers. We've got Renthal 996 bend moto bars with the Warp 9 direct mount, also Warp 9 stem lock, and with that direct mount we added the 20mm riser that it comes with. And then last but not least, this ultra slick powder coat brought to you by Single Shot Powder Coating in Science Hill, Kentucky. This color is a prismatic powders color, and it is called Misty Root Beer. And let me tell you guys, offset from all the black on the bike, this color absolutely pops in the sun. It's a nice cold wintry day here in London, Kentucky, so the sun's not even out. But I will say this color is completely different whenever the sun hits it. It's got a little bit of a reddish tinge to it, and Charles absolutely loves it. All right, Charles, final thoughts on the bike build. Everything that you've done so far, all the sponsors that have helped us out and worked with us on the YouTube channel to make this bike absolutely dialed like it is. What do you think about it, and what is your next mod? Let's go ahead and give the people one next mod. Say they've got a bike that's in this exact state. What would you do next?
Feels really good. I'm a little on the heavier side for a Surron, so the suspension really helped a lot. And the bars, getting a good wide bar that wasn't bending. I kept bending mountain bike bars. So I think the next mod that I would want to do to the bike is a torque speed controller. After riding yours with the stock battery and the torque, you not only got more range but a little bit more power versus the stock controller with the stock battery. I'm not really interested in doing 72 volt. I've rode yours quite a bit, and like, it's cool, but it's not that much money cool to me. So I just want to do a controller and leave the stock battery, and I think it's a ton of fun.
Yes sir, awesome. Yeah, so guys, don't forget you can use my discount code HAWK5 and save 5% off of a Torp controller ordering it on their website. I still absolutely love my Torp controller. I need to pick up the Torp motor next, and I actually did. I just ate it the other day and ripped up my jacket, and the reason that I ate it was because the mud tires on cold slick blacktop, no bueno. So the street tires will be going back on after we get done with our indoor arena cross series at Route 62 MX. Go ahead and check out the Surron Supercross videos on the channel if you haven't already. Again, huge shout out to Chai Battery. This battery's been great, no issues, plenty of power, and huge shout out to Torp. All of my discount codes from any sponsors that I have here on the YouTube channel will be linked down below in the description box, so always check the description box down below, guys. With that being said, we've got this custom built Surron, and now that custom built Surron, and we've got another one coming, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button down below. This one is nothing like anything you've ever seen before. If you check out my most recent video installing the gut seat cover on my new YZ250 two-stroke, you may see it in the background towards the end of that video. It's a powder coat that has never been done on a Surron before, and it will be the first one on YouTube, or maybe ever of its kind that I know of. So stay tuned for it. It's gonna be wicked as well. A lot of the same mods, 72 volt, Chai Battery. Me and Charles are gonna go rip around town a little bit and have some fun on these Surrons. Always remember, everybody starts out as nobody, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.